Dear aquarists, especially for the discus lovers, I have my background, which I took, of course, from a fish somewhere at a discus competition, which always lovely discus to see. Unfortunately, we have to deal with problems with discus fish in our hobby or in the industry. And today, my case number 81 talks about a discus which was having problems, and I'd like you to share my presentation on this. It was a discus snakeskin with gill flukes and something that looks like the discus pest or discus H, what's in the name, some reaction of the fish. I will mention you what I noticed in my observations. Well, the fish here, you can see they become dark. Some look pretty well in color and pretty well good shape, but some here getting skinny, getting darker. The fins are not looking right. They were all looking for food, but what typically happens in these kind of fish that the bigger ones, the most color ones, are the most active ones taking up all the food, and that the smaller ones, like this one here below, has a little chance. So very important that you avoid that competing for fish food. Just don't drop a block or frozen food in it or a few granulates. No, make sure you spread it in the aquarium so that all the fish can have a chance to eat. You know, look, they all look hungry. Also the smaller ones, which are not in good condition, they're wasting away and some are dying. But it's the bigger ones which are more actively and will sort of outcompete the other ones. When we looked at the fish we pulled out, the small black one, and that was wasting, we see a lot of mucus here on the side of the fish and here on the fins. So there was an excessive mucus on the scales, which we usually see when we talk about the discus pest. We took a scraping from the skin, but we couldn't see any particular pathogens or parasites, anything like that, that would cause that mucus. But look at the mucus here, excessive mucus that was on the scales. I will show you at the end a link to another video where I talk about this kind of observation, what could have been the primary cause of this. We found in the gills also some mucus, but also gill flukes, which should not be there. Maybe one, maybe two on a gill arch. Yes, that is not seriously called an infection. But if you see a few like these here, which are still pretty small, but are on nearly each gill arch, there are several gill flukes, of course, stressing the fish, making the fish not feeling well. So the fish will eat less, and particularly when there is competition for food, well, he will become weaker, and then he will get other problems, secondary infections, particularly bacteria, because they're kept in tropical water where a lot of bacteria are there. Here, another gill arch, and you see the few gill flukes. See, flukes here in the middle and here on the side. That's how you can observe the gill flukes. I don't identify what species it is. It's no use for you as a hobbyist. It's for the expert to taxonomy, but you can apply an anti-fluke treatment. But look, this fluke is trying to get away. It's trying, of course, it's in a bad shape, held in the microscope, so it's going away. And then we saw inside, we saw the spleen, which was in a very bad condition. Look at the melanomacrophage centers, which are taken away. The macrophages are like taking a reaction in the organ to defend itself against pathogens, mostly bacteria. So that makes, of course, the organ of the fish in a very weak condition. So what can we do? Oh, I have a visitor here. It's one of my cats, Looky Look, who is trying to intervene in my presentation. Sorry, I put them away, but I'm a cat lover. That just to tell you. So health, spleen in poor condition. Now, to conclude, what can we do in a treatment in this case of these fishes? Well, try to look at the origin of the problem, since we suspect discus pest. Discus pest can be originating from a poor immunity. The fish are in a poor immune system, kept by what reason? Stress, poor water, many conditions which I talk about in my YouTube films on how can I say, losing the immunity and fighting off the fish diseases. And the contact with other South American cichlids, which seems to be, which I explain in my books, a kind of allergic reaction. They're like a kind of asthma, that the fish is creating extra slime on the skin and in the gills. Exchange of pathogens, of pheromones. It's not well studied yet, but it seems to be that when those fish like discus are in contact with a wild fish or the wild discus or a wild dwarf cichlid, or coming from another breeder, tank raised fish from Europe mixed with tank raised fish or discus from Asia, I tell in my lectures, don't combine. If you buy European discus, stay with European discus, stay with the same breeder, stay with the same supplier. You avoid risking the problems. That's what everybody does also with koi. It's the same kind of problem, to try to avoid the problem. Do more water changes. That helps a lot. The fish, that helps the fish a lot, is to eliminate anything in the water which can be bad. Apply an antibacterial treatment. Talk to your fish doctor about that. Try to feed with food that contains immunostimulants, that helps the immune system, so the fish can be stronger to fight off a problem of anything affecting his body. We recommend, therefore, our Dr. Basil Advice Food Forte and our professional care. So that's the few ones which really can help your fish in this case. But make sure they're eating the granulates. You can help it with our power fish. Dr. Basil Power Fish helps the fish to learn to accept granulates. It's a spray you put on your frozen or live food. So check it out, Dr. Basil Power Fish from Accordion Münster. Prevention is better than cure. Like I said, try to prevent fighting for food, try to prevent that the immune system is affected, try to have the contact with strange fish from other areas, particularly other South American cichlids. So to take a look at my reference in my books, The New Illustrated Guide to Fish Diseases. I will show you the link below to my books in my explanation on YouTube, and see my YouTube video, which I have here the link, which I talk about discus pest. So I hope this helps you, and particularly the discus lover, to be made more aware about this kind of problem. So stay more tuned. Stay tuned to more cases to come. Also, more cases on discus will eventually come up. So thank you for watching on this short video on a problem of a discus fish. Thank you and good luck.